morning. It has been quite some time. I'm sipping on my cinnamon tea. So this morning on S&P, on the 15-minute, I was watching this order block. If this one failed right here, because we had inside of the 15-minute, we had this one at 2:45 a.m. and then 20 minutes later we had this propulsion block, because it dug into not only this one but this one, and then you see the strength in that. So after a large range day to the downside right here, you can see how retail is getting trapped by shorting. Anyone who is shorting, getting induced from this move here, instantly trapped. So obviously that's in hindsight, but let's see what we can work with today. Pull up on my charts. So I actually finally got 8 hours of sleep. It has been a long time, like probably like 4 weeks, I want to say. So I'm feeling great. Another thing was, I was watching this imbalance somewhere in here on the 15-minute. Oh, here, right here. It's very small. So in terms of like stepping stones, like if the market has delivered higher, wait a minute, why is my new day opening gap not showing? Hold on. I marked my new day opening gap, but it's not popping up for some reason. Maybe I accidentally deleted it. So in terms of stepping stones, on this new day opening gap, or relative to the new day opening gap also, what am I even saying? Anyways, where do we think the market is going to deliver today? Well, keeping in mind that we are below the Sunday open and at a discount, trading into a weekly inefficiency. On top of that, we had this previous week's new week opening gap. So we're priced in pretty deep in a discount. This inefficiency, I'm watching to see how it works in here. Right now, if you look at it, looks like we're working pretty well off of the consequent encroachment right here. So we have the 0.75 gradient at 48.90 and 3/4, and look at the respect to that 0.25 gradient. So it's pretty nice. So we have this inefficiency, which we have traded to. I think this is engineered buy side. I don't think that this inefficiency is going to create like a high. I don't think it traded in here and now it's going to reverse, looking like it really wants that buy side above that. So we're going to have to measure that and see in real time whether it's going to go up there or not. Like I was saying, for stepping stones, if the market is going to deliver higher on the left side of your chart, what is it going to use to send it higher? So something I've been doing recently is just kind of using the left side of the chart and old data, like really old data, like previous days data, not like, you know, if you look in the current day, like you could use this, but in terms of like at the 12 a.m. open, what can you use from like how do I say this? At 12 a.m. what can you use to sort of like mark out your levels and then just go to sleep, versus this was formed at 8 a.m. This was formed at 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. the previous day. So don't know if that really made sense. I don't know why I'm terrible with my words in the morning, so I'm gonna have to see what I can do about that. It's a character flaw. Alright, so we have this gap. Initially, right away, right, like just looking at this, I'd like to see this be treated as breakaway. So I'm gonna, my eye instantly, if this is gonna be treated as breakaway, my eye goes to this order block. You can see we're working inside of it currently. So I'm gonna mark that level out. So let's see what it's gonna do. Alright, so it doesn't look like it's going to be treated as breakaway, so I want to see how we react here. I'd like to see it cross this. If this fair value gap is going to support price. There it is. So now that makes me want to start looking at all discount arrays as discount arrays and premium arrays as inversion. So this one right here. So I'm going to remove this. Oops. Remove that, which was the order block that I was watching, and then mark this and see if we're going to treat this as inversion. So that low of that inefficiency is still that order block, but I'd like to start seeing some closing prices above this inefficiency. So if we don't see that, then like the conviction just goes down, or it's weaker for me. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna wait for the opening, and I want to see how it reacts, because taking a deeper dive into this, we do have this order block here, and this down close candle is convincing to me as a change in the state of delivery, just the way that it delivered. So yes, we went up off of the opening, but how we reacted here and that unwillingness to close above that opening price is just kind of has me cautious of what I'm saying or doing next. We have news in 4 minutes. So also another reason why I just want to keep my hand under my seat or under my butt and not do anything. I think the more that I were to do, the more likely I am to just be wrong or get destroyed. Yeah, so you can see why instantly right after not seeing that closing price and then looking at my 5-minute chart, there was this order block. The way this candle was forming or was forming in real time just had me skeptical, because this candle, should this have been an order block, it should have closed, in my opinion, above, and so we didn't see that. And then just the way this candle was forming just had me skeptical. So you can see that it was a good reason to be skeptical. So I'm glad that I knew when to back away. And so I'm still waiting for that news now. There's that news. watching the low of this, or sorry, the high. I want to see how it delivers, and then how it treats this gap over here. Is it gonna leave another gap open, or just another gap, or is it gonna come down into this one and trade into it? So there's two possibilities. I'm not really leaning on one side or another, just trying to stay neutral. That way I don't put my emotions into this. I'm not trying to do that. So there's that high. Very nice reaction off of that high. More expansion, and I know I don't know if, well, anyone has really said it. I don't even think anyone watches these right now, but for future reference, I'm gonna say it before anyone else does. I know, like, there might be some indicator or something. Well, first of all, I don't even like indicators. Don't trust them. Don't like them. I'd rather just prefer to keep it in my own hands and in my own control. But for anyone who asks, why do you keep moving these? Well, because I like it. Because, like, look, I'm real time. I know that now this 950 macro, I dragged it down, so it went down. So that was the Judas swing. At 10 a.m. we went down into that order block. So as I was dragging it down, I was getting a real feel of where the expansion was occurring. So while I was dragging this down, I knew that price was going down, and I got that kind of experience of dragging this down. And then we went up, and as we were going up above, I think it was, what was it? I don't know. It was this high. As we went above this high, I'm dragging it up, and so as I drag this up, I know that there's expansion going up. So basically in my journal, I would log this as Judas swing down below the 950 opening price and Judas swing down below the 10 a.m. price, only to expand higher. And you can see that as we're expanding higher, there we go, we're reaching up into that New York open kill zone high. So although we did use this 5 a.m., or sorry, not 5 a.m., 5 minute 9:30 a.m., let me re-say that, 9:30 a.m., 5 minute bullish fair value gap, we went down and stabbed into that low, which in theory invalidates that order block, but we had that 1:45 a.m. 15 minute order block supporting price. So it went down into there, and to my understanding, I just watched the lecture. It was the Reaper PD array. To my understanding, which I may be wrong, so that's why I haven't really placed too much emphasis, but in my own back testing, PD array is like the fair value gap. So let me open up the 5 minute so we have a better look at this. So if you look at this 5-minute order block, or not order block, fair value gap, we have the low and the high, which creates this gap. We have candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. So those 3 candles create the formation. So in 2022 mentorship, ICT talks about you can either set your stop here or you can set it here. So this would be candle 1, which is, or I mean there's also the option of the nearest swing low, but that also is in confluence with candle 1 low. So as we were on this candle, I mentioned that I'm just gonna let go of any ideas, let this play out, see what it wants to do because of this order block. And then I had mentioned that 1 minute change in state of delivery that I'd like to see a close above. So you can see that I don't like to say call out, but that call out, that idea, or that idea panned out very well in our favor because it went down, swept liquidity, invalidating, or quote unquote invalidating this order block. But my idea of the Reaper is that it stabs the candle 1 or potential swing low, which is the same over here in this instance. It goes down, stabs it, and then comes back up. I've only watched the video once. I'd like to watch it a couple more times, but I haven't found the time to. So although it still worked out pretty well here, I was watching this fair value gap, and then I mean we had this order block here too. Go to the 1 minute, change in state of delivery, didn't give that delivery down or that booking to 48.87 again, and then just took that high or booked that high, and then just instantly started spooling higher above that New York open kill zone high at 48.95 3/4, which I mentioned in the morning or at the start of the live stream. So the opportunity of 5 handles was presented here in any PD array that you want. My desired PD array was this one right here, and this one was treated as breakaway. It could have went down here, and if it would have, my stop would have allowed me to have had room for this. So if you just map this out from here, 5 handles, always, that's always my stop. No less, no more. That's it. It's just 5 handles. So it could have, had it went down here, that's when I would have been stopped out. But my stop placement would have allowed me to remain in this trade and receive that 5 handle profit. So very nice, very quick, easy 950 1010 macro, beautifully executed, or beautifully walked through, I guess. So yeah, I'll stay here for a couple more minutes, but I have to be somewhere. I just received a text, so I won't be able to stay for too long, and I might just close it a little earlier than even I'm expecting. So let's see. I'm feeling pretty satisfied with that move right there. It's a very nice move. Once we get above these highs, I think I'll call it a day. So any close below this just negates it. There it is. So I would close it, close the position from this high to right here. So yeah, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and then next week I will be live, potentially, maybe not, but yeah, I will catch y'all later. So